Honourable David Cunliffe, question number 6.
To the Minister of Finance.
Point of order. I apologise to the Honourable David. Point of order, the Honourable Simon.
I apologise to the Honourable David Cunliffe, but just so that I'm clear about what just occurred, I understood that the Leader of the Opposition was seeking to table an uncorrected transcript from a select committee, which presumably belongs to the select committee, until such time as the details of that transcript have been confirmed by the select committee, at which point that transcript would become available for the more public matter that's just occurred.
Right. Order. I don't think I need help. I'll come back to the member if I get this wrong, but it's my understanding that the transcript related to hearings in public, and therefore the information is public anyhow. The what was said is actually in the public domain anyhow. Were it a report of the committee, were it a transcript of a hearing when the committee was in session, not in public, totally different situation. But that is why I sought advice on the matter before seeking leave of the House, to make sure that it was appropriate to seek the leave of the House in the event the House chose not to give leave, and that's absolutely the House's prerogative. But in my understanding, there was nothing wrong in leave being sought because it was a transcript from a public hearing, and what was said was already in the public domain. Well, I'll hear the Honourable Leader of the House briefly, indeed.
So just so that we're clear about this from this point on, what I'm concerned about here, Mr Speaker, is that although the matter described by the Leader of the Opposition may have occurred in public, the transcript recording that matter is a matter that the committee determines for its accuracy as to what occurred when that matter was heard in public. And that matter has just been unapproved and draft transcript has now been sought to be tabled by the Leader of the Opposition, regardless of whether or not, in fact, that matter was heard in public.
Order.
It is a transcript that belongs to the committee, regardless of how the information came to become in the hands of the committee, whether it was public or not. It hasn't been confirmed by the committee, and now we have a situation where a member is seeking to table an uncertified, if you like, or unagreed to transcript by that select committee. That is quite different to a version of what occurred in public being made available to the House. This is a matter that belongs to the committee, regardless of how that evidence was heard.
I'll hear the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Order. Mr Speaker, I think as all members are aware that these transcripts are verbatim transcripts, but could it just as easily be a recording made by any member of the committee or any other person there, and those, there could have been a request for those to be tabled as well. I think, sir, that people do need to look at the history in this. There was an assertion made in the question.
No, this is not relevant to the point of order.
Well, sir, I think members on this side have been looking for ways to correct misrepresentations and supplementary answers. And that's what occurred here.
We're starting to get away from the point of order. I mean, it is an interesting issue that I'll actually seek further advice on, because the Honourable Acting Leader of the House puts forward an interesting argument. In my view, there's nothing that prevents leave being sought for this particular document. The House has made a decision not to grant that leave on the basis that it believes that it's the committee's right to deal with a transcript. I think that was the basis. Order. Well, the House made the decision under our standing orders, and because leave was denied, but because of the interesting situation in relation to transcripts, which I know at select committee, it's normal practice for committees to approve the release of a transcript. I want to have a look at that before I make any definitive ruling around whether or not this should be an acceptable practice. I think no harm has been done today because leave was not granted, and I will certainly seek further advice on the appropriateness of leave being sought. It's an interesting issue, because I hear what the Honourable Trevor Mallard said, that the Shadow Leader of the House, that it's in public. What would be wrong with an electronic record leave being sought for an electronic record that had been taken to be tabled in the House. Yet the Honourable Acting Leader of the House makes the point that transcripts normally are dealt with by a committee prior to their release. And I want to have a look at how those issues can be properly resolved. I'll hear the Honourable Acting Leader of the House.
I don't mean to delay the House, but Standing Order 236 may assist. Paragraph 2361 says a report or a draft of the report of a select committee or a subcommittee is strictly confidential to the committee until it reports to the House. Now, 2362 goes on to say paragraph 1 does not prevent the disclosure by the committee or by a member of the committee of a report or a draft report to a member of Parliament or to the clerk or another officer of the House in the course of their duties. And I'd urge you to consider that standing order as part of your deliberations.
Well, no, I don't think I need further. I don't want to take up further time right now. All I'd say to the Honourable Member is a transcript is not a report. I think that standing order is intended to cover actual reports of committees, and a transcript, I would argue, is not a report. But I think it's an interesting issue that's arisen, and I will take some time to look at it. Should there be any difficulties around the standing order around this issue, the Standing Orders Committee is meeting at the moment. The matter can be considered there as well, because I don't wish to impede the opportunity of the House to deal with these matters in a way the House sees appropriate. Today I sought the leave as a member sought leave, and that was declined. I think today no harm has been done, but I'll certainly look at the matter further. Question number 6, the Honourable David Cunliffe.